Jonathan Shenesky on the show, everybody. We're here to talk cosplay.
Hello there.
We're both beginners. We've kind of done it here and there. You have gone as Snake Plissken from the beloved Escape from New York and LA movies and comics. I have gone as the Djinn from Wishmaster horror comedies, and no one knew who the hell I was. So, but one of these days, I might add some extra makeup and enhance it.
Just to be clear, though, I actually haven't been to any major cons yet.
None of us have, I don't think. No.
Oh, okay, yeah. Although I will say, actually, I did actually have my first Comic-Con experience. I'm trying to think, what was it? January of last year, actually, January of 2022. At my local mall, which is like 5 minutes away from me, and there were people who I just walked in one day, and I saw this one. I saw a few Mando cosplayers, like Mandalorian cosplay,
as they do.
Yeah. I saw this one girl who was cosplaying Ahsoka Tano, the Mandalorian version, and slash Ahsoka series version, like the dark outfit. Yeah. And yeah, so there's I forget what store used to be there, but I'm trying to think. There, a lot of mall businesses have gone out of business, and friggin' it's just empty space, but they rented that space for like the area, the con area, so went through there, and it was pretty cool. It gave me an idea, gave me like an idea of what it was like to go to a con, without having to pay for tickets. It was like things like that.
It's very eye-opening too, and it's like, man, how long did this take you?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh man, friggin' like there was this one particular stand. If you like this one stand where they had like this one guy had like a ton of Legos of every fandom, and standing side by side with each other. Yeah. So but yeah, no, again, I'm doing what I have to do to accomplish this goal, and that is, again, just keep persisting in the, searching for another, well-paying job, I mean, wherever I land, in terms of the work, friggin', what is it called, work, in terms of getting a job, getting another job, and just like holding on to it until I can afford
it anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, not even that. It's like I think even if I have shitty coworkers who have no manners, it's like just like I would say I'm pretty much immune at this point to like all the shit that I hear, coming from, like what people have to say. It's just like, but it's like, just kind of brush it off, persevere. And,
you ultimately have to, because, I mean, I've been in awful workplaces, much like you. And it's one of those, you just have to, when I would tell my folks, they'd be more worried about the next person who encountered them. I was kind of more just like, how does this even survive? And
exactly.
I'm kind of more about the karma at that point, where I'm like, okay, well, it's going to be a judgment day for you guys, because
right, exactly.
I'm not wishing ill will on you, but I'm not going to cry when you ask for unemployment and treating people just awful.
True, yeah. But but I as I've said, again, ever since you messaged me, like to have this talk, I am both. I'm humbled, truthfully, it's like this is very I'm excited, but I'm honored, but I'm also very humbled by this opportunity to speak with you. And
I was doing a Snake Plissken hosted week back then as a
uh-huh,
recording, and I saw there was a lot of Instagrammers on Facebook who actually know who
uh-huh,
that character is. They don't just go,
yeah,
"Hey,
yeah,
why do you look like a Solid Snake from Metal Gear Solid?"
yeah.
That's so inspired.
Because everybody knows that freaking Kojima,
Yeah,
clearly got.
I've never
Yeah,
played as the game. I played as the character
yeah,
on Super Smash Brothers Melee, but that's about
uh-huh,
it. But I
yeah.
know about him and everything, and how I was a Splinter Cell guy. But hey, same
Oh,
difference.
hey, same. I grew up playing both games though. Friggin'
Oh hell,
uh,
if you want to do a special on that, then let's have you back on then.
sure, why not? Yeah, friggin' both. Actually, I was introduced to Metal Gear Solid. I think it was. Uh, I'm trying to think. I was born in 1997, so
Mhm.
October 3rd. Actually, my birthday was recent. I'm 26 now. Yeah.
Nice.
Uh, yeah. I'm trying to think. No, I was introduced to the. I think it was MGS2, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was MGS2 when I was like, what? Gosh, friggin' 4 years old, I think. And
Wow.
I think it was like 3 years later, I played my brother and I were actually playing the very first Splinter Cell game. So yeah, I mean, friggin' yeah, and it's kind of like one of those this character versus this character between similarities and
Always got to be a rivalry, man.
yeah, right, yeah, and but yeah, no, back to but yeah, Kojima, yeah, it's quite clear that um Kojima, and again, it's not just Solid Snake's look, but also the lore in Metal Gear Solid
Yeah.
that makes it's basically if because actually I should say because we never got the um I'm trying to think the escape the Snake Plissken video game because a um there was a video game that was going to be about the escape from movie franchise that we
Oh,
never
really?
got. So basically, yeah, oh yeah, no, and we we were sadly robbed from that. Similarly to how we were robbed from the Darth Maul video game that was said to come out, I think in
Oh,
yeah,
would have paid top
yeah,
dollar.
right. So yeah, pretty much like
The comic
the
books
Metal
will
Gear
have to
Solid
do for now.
games. Yeah, the Metal Gear Solid games are pretty much the closest thing you can get to playing as Kurt Russell as Snake Plissken himself, and which is cool. I mean, it's still cool though. Yeah, but it would have been cool if we got that freaking game about playing as him. I mean, friggin' yeah,
That would have been great. Yeah.
it would have been. And I'm also I should mention that where the numbers 3465 come in my Instagram handle name is if do you remember by any chance? Do you remember the movie Soldier with Kurt Russell?
The Blade Runner spinoff. Yeah.
Oh my god! I'm so glad you know that. I am seriously so glad you know that.
It's actually gotten
Yeah,
pretty bigger in more
yeah,
recent years. You'd be entertained to know.
yeah,
Kind of like Waterworld, it was kind of the bastard child
yeah,
and the whipping boy, and now I think
yeah.
people have
Exactly. Yeah,
finally
it's a
we've filtered out the toxicity. It's like you can love what you love. There's no
yeah.
giving the stink eye if you like something anymore,
I,
really.
I mean, I get that, a lot of people didn't like, I understand why people didn't like and still don't like that film because it was directed by Paul W. Sanderson, who is
Yeah.
known for, and like he made the Mortal Kombat movies, which from, I have to shamefully admit that I actually haven't ever seen any of those movies, but, uh,
Love what you love, dude. I feel like
yeah,
half the time
but
we get peer
he,
pressured
he
into watching movies we otherwise really have no interest in.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I don't hate. I'm not going to say I hate Paul W. Sanderson, but he was known for directing. So like the dialogue and whatnot in his movies was like, and all that, was like super cheap, like typical 1990, like any movie from the 1990s that was really cheesy. His movies were another one of the, just added to that line. But so I can honestly say Soldier was really David Webb Peoples, who, as you know, wrote the screenplay for Blade Runner, the original Blade Runner, also wrote the screenplay for Soldier, and made it a part of, like what they called a sidequel or side sequel to Blade Runner, like a movie, a series of events that takes place within that universe. And if you're, I would imagine you're probably familiar with this, if you remember, the between the beginning of the movie and the Adam Project babies, and they're being taught that killing is good, and and then to their training with freaking what I think M16A2 rifles, and then of course like freaking Wyatt Russell, in the one scene where he's no, his son in
that was his son back when he was a baby. Oh wow.
Yeah, no, he was 11 years old at the time, and literally looking at him then, and like he was literally like a mini Kurt Russell. It's like in the one scene where all the kids are like running on that path, and Wyatt had the flag. Yeah, that was his son. And also in the scene where they're doing target practice, and then of course the name, his name, his rank, his being tattooed on his face, and then it goes around the back of his head to Kurt, in the main series of events. It was between the beginning and that scene, and it was the scene where I'm trying to think, where you see the screen.
Oh man.
The screen with his record and his combat records. It said Shoulder of Orion, Tannhauser Gate, which was also Tannhauser Gate was also tattooed on his arm. Yeah, and his ordnance levels, USCM Smart Gun, further proving the connection between Blade Runner and Alien.
Mm-hmm. I think some people have also noticed that there's like a destroyed spinner. That's those cars.
Well, when he's dumped onto Arcadia 234, and he climbs down the friggin' pile. So a lot of things.
We will do a Valverde saga ranking very soon.
Because if you remember watching Blade Runner 2049, that sealed the deal on.
They totally took the same kind of landscape and art direction. Yeah,
exactly. Like when Kay and Joy were flying to the orphanage in the San Diego junkyard, you see that the Conestoga class military transport ship emerging from the clouds, the same class ship as the Sulaco in Aliens, and then in the very next scene you see those scrap metal disposal haulers as seen in Soldier. It's like in the junkyard. So that sealed the deal.
These wars that they mention are just as awesome as the various battles in the future scenes in the Terminator franchise, because you're just like, I want to see more of that, even though it's just been detailed and everything.
Oh yeah. Although I'm pretty sure just because Hyperdyne Systems Model 128-2 was mentioned in Aliens, I think that was because that was a James Cameronism,
Mm-hmm. Essentially, and fun fact, in the original, was trending on Reddit recently. Apparently, in a original, how the replicant company in the Alien movies is the same as the one in
the Android
Blade
company.
Yeah. But apparently, in an original draft,
they were like, I guess you would say competitors in a way.
Essentially, But what seals the deal for me in this whole connection, especially with how the cast and crew of the new Battlestar tried to put in as many Easter eggs for Blade Runner by using the same guns, and
Oh, interesting. Okay. That I actually
yeah.
I've always been kind of curious about Battlestar Galactica, but if there are Blade Runner like Easter eggs, so, I'm
they
gonna
use
watch
the
that
same
now.
guns. They use the
Yeah.
it's a skin job remarks anytime they're
Uh-huh.
disabling Cylons. But what seals the deal for me
Yeah.
now is apparently
Well, like Deckard's gun from the original.
they're all
Oh,
using it,
cool.
almost every single
Oh,
one. But
oh wow.
and what's funny is at a convention, Edward James
Yeah.
almost said when they were wrapping up season 4, he's like, "Watch the original Blade Runner after you're done with
Mhm.
our movies. That's the end.
Yeah.
That's the real ending to this whole thing." I'm like, "I love you, Eddie."
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
And he's in both, so I think it's
Okay.
yeah. He plays the cop who Deckard's working with at the beginning, so it's just funny just seeing this whole extra maze he's built.
Oh,
But
James. Well, what's his name? James.
it's not Kinnison or something. But yeah, it's just like
Oh.
Edward.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, he played as Gaff. Yeah.
Yeah. Him. Yeah, I remember. Okay, that's cool. I didn't know he was in that. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah. Very, very early role.
Yeah.
So you'll love this though. In the original draft for Aliens, James Cameron implied that Bishop was created by Cyberdyne.
Oh, okay.
The Skynet company. So I'm like that.
Oh my god.
He couldn't use it due to copyright.
So he was going to try and morph. Okay. Yeah.
Makes sense to me.
That doesn't surprise me
kill
really.
someone.
Yeah. 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 But these back to the topic at hand. Yeah. No. I mean these are the cosplays I want to do. These are the two. Well, first, again, as I said, I'm determined to attend NYCC next year.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and booty debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
The Jacked Up Review Show podcast is honored to be part of the Blind Knowledge Podcast Network. Join anytime, talk the talk, and enjoy yourselves. There's something enlightening for everyone with this crowd of cool cats. Check them out. Oh, no, wow.
Yeah, no, I really am.
Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I'm determined to attend NYCC next year. I'm determined to again, like do whatever, just as I said, I'm currently a caretaker for my grandparents, and I'm not ashamed of that. But
good person, man, dude. Good person.
Yeah.
Grandparents.
Thank you. Yeah.
So undervalued.
But yeah, I don't want to put them in a home. I really don't want to put them in a home. I mean, like, yeah, they drive me crazy sometimes, but I would not do that just because of that.
I don't want to throw anyone away, man. I see so many doing that, and I'm just like, hey,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's even in old age, it's no way to live. I mean, like, there are a lot of ways that are really no way to live. I mean, because
they don't even feed them good food or promote exercise, so it's just like,
no,
this isn't working.
Yeah, but you're right. but until I find, I'm still, as I said, I'm persevering and finding some good work, and just save every week, spend as little as I can, and start
frugal.
purchasing,
Yeah.
purchasing articles of clothing. Like I actually came across a obviously replicated camouflage pants as worn by Kurt
Plissken.
Russell in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the diagonal stripe camo, and but there was one that I came across that has belt loops, as opposed to what he wore that didn't have belt loops, and I kind of prefer that, truth be told, because I feel like it would be a more formal look to have like like a maybe like a black combat belt or whatever, with the friggin' holster with a resin scoped Smith & Wesson Model 67 combat masterpiece, and then of course a resin Mac 10 45 with yeah. I mean obviously it's not going to house it. It's not, there's not going to be any they're going to be not like, but I'm just merely I have the in movie firearms database page bookmarked, so I know it's just like I want like the like every whatever like markings, labels, on the friggin' prop guns, yeah. So that, and of course the wrist, I think he had the time on his left wrist, and then the tracker piece on his right, and of course unmistakably, the one like going back to the Metal Gear Solid thing, with Solid Snake, Snake Plissken has the eye patch over his left eye, and Snake Plissken has the eye patch over his left eye, and Solid Snake has the eye patch over his right eye. So that's like the most obvious, like obviously noticeable difference, between both the characters, yeah.
It's pretty much how you got to decipher it. Just something to separate it. When I used my Jin costume, I was basically I took an Obi-Wan robe, and then I took a Maleficent horns, flipped them upside down, and then
pants, the jacket, of course, the friggin' brown leather jacket, the zipper, the tank top with the zippers, and the boots. I'm thinking the boots.
Boots are so hard to come by.
Yeah, no, and if I gotta make them, I will. So that way I could take pride in, if you will, that I at least made one, like by myself, article of cosplay clothing, because something that people are always something that goes on in the cosplay community sometimes, or I don't know how long this comes by, but there are people in the cosplay community who are total assholes, about like, oh, you like you bought your freaking cosplay clothes, you didn't make them.
I avoid the Star Wars ones just because, especially with the whole, if you don't get that armor made in the UK, you're not part of our brigade. I'm like, I am not paying an arm and a leg for $5,000 armor. I'm going to wear it twice a year.
You gotta, what it is, ultimately, it's about pragmatism. You gotta be, yeah, exactly. You gotta be pragmatic. You gotta be, you gotta be wise in, you gotta work with what you have, it's like you work with what you have, and there is no like real cosplayers who accept you for like who you are or whatever, or well, yeah, that, and it doesn't matter if you're entry level cosplay, like myself, I'm an entry level cosplayer at this point. I strive to start, but and again, I'm not saying I'm any better than other starting cosplayers, but because kudos to them too. Kudos to them with whatever they have. But I just think it's cool that my starting cosplay, even if I got to buy the clothes, is freaking Lieutenant SD Snake Plissken. Friggin'. And somewhere down the line, I will see what I can do about making my own cosplays. One of them actually, especially considering that again, both Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell are now in that new Monarch series.
Yeah, the Godzilla.
Yeah. I am also a diehard Godzilla fan, and
Woo.
yeah. It's at this point it's wishful thinking, but I think it would be pretty cool if when I say wishful thinking, I mean it's definitely going to be in the more distant future than the near future. But what I aspire to do is make, like hand make the new Godzilla, the new the newest version of Godzilla.
The MonsterVerse from Warner Brothers.
Yeah, like the new Godzilla versus King Kong Godzilla, with glowing, freaking glowing scales and eyes, and of course, like the throat and freaking like I aspire to make it with not just lights, but lights plus, especially that is to say, lights and a smoke machine or a vapor machine in the mouth for the an atomic breath beam.
That would be neat.
It would be neat, right? And not only that, but if there's some way in any way, shape, or form I can attempt that, like if what I'm saying is, I think it would be cool if there was like a high quality stereo speaker, and like with a soundboard, like install it somewhere, but obviously the speaker in like the throat area, like the mouth area, but the soundboard with like a really loud, high quality speaker for the roar. I mean, like, how freaking cool would that be, right? I mean,
that you would be doing a lot of homework, but it would
no doubt, yeah. But I mean, like, as I said, I mean, like, as of right now, it's wishful thinking, and it's but in the distant future, I if I put my mind to it, and to everybody out there, if you can put your mind, if you put your mind to what it is you want to do with your life, whether it's no matter what it is, it's like you persevere and you will accomplish it,
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a jacked up